The Indianapolis Colts fell just short in their Week 5 matchup against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, in Week 6, they will be flying to Nashville to take on the well-rested Tennessee Titans, as Will Levis and company will be hosting them coming off a bye week. We're going to break down the Colts Tennessee Titans Week 6 matchup here, and going to talk about the matchup within the game and give our predictions at the very end of the video. But before we get into that, if you have not already, go ahead and subscribe to the Tracy Take. Leave a like and a comment. Let us know who you think is going to win and why. We're trying to get to 100 new subscribers for these Week 6 prediction video series. We've been able to hit that goal over the past couple of weeks thanks to all of our new members, so any help is greatly appreciated. So, Ryan, Colts played a phenomenal game down in Jacksonville. They haven't won in Jacksonville now, and I think officially a decade. But it's great back and forth. Better Joe Flacco was the one that took the start here. He had a great game overall. Defense really struggled as well. I think that's going to be kind of their big bugaboo throughout the entire season. Last time we saw Tennessee, they were down in Miami and beat the Tua-less Miami Dolphins pretty handedly. Now coming off a bye week, well rested. What do you think are some of the areas the Titans need to keep improving on coming off the bye week?
Yeah, I mean, looking at this Colts defense, the first thing that I can think of is they have to run the ball better. This Titans offense at times has struggled to run the ball, and Will Levis isn't efficient enough as a passer to do what we kind of coined as running the ball through the air, which is really you just take really highly efficient passing plays and kind of substitute that for your running game when things are struggling. So for me, I think that is what the Titans are going to have to do, because this Colts rushing defense is not very good. And the back end of this defense, I don't think is that great either. But I think if you're comparing the two, I think the back end might be slightly better. Now, I will say pass rush wise, this is what this defensive line is built for. It's built to get after the passer. And so like Tennessee does want to drop back 40 times. I think that kind of plays right into the Colts' hands in this matchup. And defensively, this is a good Titans defense. I think this Colts offense will struggle a little bit. I'm curious to see which quarterback is in place here. Will it be Joe Flacco? Will it be Anthony Richardson? That's going to be something to kind of monitor throughout the week. Both have their upsides and both, I think, have their downsides. With Anthony Richardson, this offense is much more explosive. Joe Flacco, it's more consistent. And granted, they still had their very fair share of explosive plays against Jacksonville this past week. But still, I think Anthony Richardson adds another level of explosiveness to an offense. And on the flip side, I think the Colts need to come out. They have the better group of weapons, I think, which is kind of crazy. DeAndre Hopkins, Calvin Ridley is a good group. But Michael Pittman, Josh Downs, Alec Pierce, A.D. Mitchell, that's a really good group right there. And if they can kind of spread this defense out, run the football, be the more physical team, I think they have a good chance to win.
Yeah. Well, I think to add on to kind of what you said on which quarterback's going to play, I think it can go for both teams, because Mason Rudolph was the guy that came in pretty early on for Will Levis after he got banged up. And, I mean, I would assume that Will Levis would still be the guy. But that being said, though, Mason Rudolph did kind of lead that team. It was not like it was anything impressive, but still was the guy. They'll probably end up going with Will Levis if he's healthy, because I think he does provide some more explosive opportunities. But still, I think it's going to be an interesting just kind of position to watch for both teams on who's ready to go and then who gets chosen to go also. So kind of moving, I think, also into the game a little bit in another capacity as well as the Colts offensive line is going to be a little bit banged up. Ryan Kelly didn't play today. And then also, too, they lost who's the guy? Will Fries.
Will Fries.
Yeah, their right guard to look like a broken leg. And so hope that he is healthy and can recover as quickly as possible here. But that's going to be just kind of another injury as well to a team. Jonathan Taylor's probably not going to go as well. If Anthony Richardson is not going to be able to go, as you mentioned earlier, even though Joe Flacco might provide some more consistency, just starting to see those injuries start to pile up just a little bit more. And they lost, I'm pretty sure they lost DeForest Buckner is done for the season too, right?
I know he got injured. I am not sure on the outlook of his season.
So either way, though, but still for a team that already is, especially might not have the best depth overall, but especially on the defensive side of the ball as well. And then now you're losing it on the offensive line side. Starting to just see these injuries kind of start to pile up as well. And so they were able to put up a lot of points against the Jacksonville defense. That wasn't really that good. The Tennessee defense is better. They are, as of right now, first overall in total yards allowed and passing yards allowed, and 15th overall in rushing yards allowed. Let me make sure that I put all my all the stats are up to date. So they're not allowing that many yards, and then also too sack wise as well. They do get the quarterback a pretty good bit. They do have 9 sacks on the year through 4 games.
Yeah, and also, so just to touch on this, DeForest Buckner is on IR, but he's not on season-ending IR.
Okay, but he'll still miss this game because I'm pretty sure it was just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it was. So, this Titans defense is good. This Colts defense and I guess this whole team is struggling a little bit with injuries. But all in all, I still think this is kind of a toss-up. I want to throw it over to you. Who do you have coming out ahead in this matchup?
This is going to be really interesting. I will say this can probably be a pick I feel might change throughout the week depending on who's able to go for Indianapolis. But as of right now, Tennessee's offense is just struggling just in general. And this isn't even just counting the last week's game as well with Mason Rudolph and whatnot. But they're 30th in overall total offensive yards per game, 29th in passing. They're 18th in overall rushing yards. Now, good news for them is Indianapolis is horrible defense, 32nd in yards allowed, 29th in passing yards, 31st in rushing yards allowed. And so I think when it comes kind of to this game, though, it's at least the Colts have a competent offense. Well, I feel like, and the Titans have a competent defense, but they can still give up some points here. I'm going to go with the Colts here. We're starting to see offensively, they're still starting to pick things up and starting to look a little more succinct. Defensively, it's going to be a liability for the whole season, but it's not really like we've seen the Titans exploit too many teams overall because of that. So I'm going to go with the Indianapolis Colts here.
That was kind of my reasoning. So I'm also going with the Colts. I could see the Colts still having some explosive plays on offense. And I'm not saying that the Titans aren't capable of having explosive plays. I just envision the Colts having more. It just felt like for me, the Titans offense is very sluggish and it's a little inconsistent. They will have explosive plays here and there, but it's preceded and followed by long droughts of just kind of net zero plays. And that to me, I think Shane Steichen is going to put together a game plan where this Colts offense is going to score points. I don't necessarily have that same faith in this Titans coaching staff. And that could change depending on how many offensive pieces are out for the Colts. But all in all, I do think that this Colts team can put together a winning game plan. And I have more faith in them doing that than I do the Titans.
Yeah. So, yeah. No, this can go out either way, though. This AFC South is going to be won by the Texans. But who comes in second is still going to be kind of up in the air. And so both these teams can still be in the wild card hunt. It's very early on in the season, so this is a big game for both teams.
I would say the Colts could probably still be in the wild card hunt. If they can win this game, they'd be at 500. I think it's going to be a haul for the other two teams to make the wild card, especially the Jags at this point. But if Tennessee goes 1-4, also, I think that'd be pretty rough rest of the season for them as well. So let's go ahead and we'll wrap this up here. Sorry to end it on a bad note for you Titans fans there, but go ahead, like and subscribe. It is the best way to help out the channel. If you have not already, go ahead and leave a comment as well on who you think is going to come out ahead. Will it be the Indianapolis Colts? Will it be the Tennessee Titans? And that we'll see you guys next time.